After all the windows and doors were installed, I began to set about work on building the loft. For the base of the loft, I used 2x6s. I used the height of the glass sliding door to determine where the bottom of the boards are going to go for the loft. I just wanted to be sure that I could stand up in the bottom floor for sure. Here I'm just measuring the proper length of the board, and I have to go out and cut it. Once you get the first board in, everything is pretty easy after that. So you have to just make sure the first one's really right. So I'm going to screw one side of the board in the proper position, and then I'm going to take my level and make sure that it's straight, and then screw it in on the other side, and that's the first board in place. Just making sure it's level before I put in some screws. After I put the first board in place at the right height, I went back and put in some ledgers for all of the next boards to rest on. Now I have to put the ledger on the other side, and this is for all the 2x6s to rest on. Now that the ledger is in place, I can go ahead and set the rest of the boards into position. And they should all be at the right height. My dad had placed this extra piece of wood 2x4 there for extra support, so we had to go ahead and remove it. And then once that was removed, then we could carry on with the rest of putting in the 2x6s. Also, the ledger board that I had installed was warped, so my dad and I worked together and we screwed it in so that it was straight. Then we went outside and we found a hydro pole that we were going to use for the support, the front support of the loft. And there it is in place. There has to be a setback so that you can crawl into the loft. So that's why the pole is kind of off-centered there, to create space for us to crawl up into the loft in the future. We have recently opened a small store in Northern Ontario carrying products such as sunscreen, beard oil, and Canadian crystals. So please, if you're interested, check us out. Once I got all the boards into place, I set about making sure that they were securely fastened to the 2x4 walls and the ledger. And then the final step that we needed to do was put the plywood in place. And you can see that we cut the pole off the 2x6 flush with the pole. And now, yeah, we're putting in the flooring. This also gives you a good visual of what I meant by we needed the setback so you can crawl up into the loft. And here I am in my loft, all done.